and welcome to Alongside Lauren. I'm Lauren and I'm so glad that you can hang out with me in my kitchen this Sunday afternoon while I get a few bits and pieces prepared that will hopefully make that coming week just that little bit easier. We have got busily cooking away some pork, which we are going to have for our dinners. I have also got some lamb pieces that are slow cooking that are going to go into a delicious lentil soup that we've prepared for our lunches. And for breakfast, we are going wild. We're doing something that is not eggs on toast. Yes, I know, very unusual for Alongside Lauren. We are going to be having a zucchini slice for our breakfast. Will wonders ever cease alongside some salad because I can't help myself and I need vegetables. So we had some zucchini slice in the freezer and we had a busy, I think it was Tuesday morning. I needed to get out of the house nice and quickly. And so we had the zucchini slice that was in the freezer and it was really tasty. Like, it was such a nice breakfast that we thought it would be a great idea to have a crack at doing that for our breakfast for this week. So what I am going to do is make a lot of noise while I find a Pyrex dish that we can cook the zucchini slice in. I've got the oven preheating to 180 degrees and I'm going to grease that little chicken. Not chicken, Pyrex dish. I don't want people to think that I'm cooking zucchini slice in a chicken, which would actually be really tasty, but I don't know quite logistically how you would do that. Whoop. There we go, spray the Pyrex dish and not haste camera. You know, a bit of soft focus. I didn't sleep all that well last night, so maybe it'll make me look younger. Okay, so we need to put in 100 grams of cheese, which I'm going to take from my miscellaneous leftover from various cheese platter box. Very technical. But the thing is that I feel that 100 grams of cheese might not be quite enough. So we'll just see what that looks like and just dance the way we feel when it comes to the cheese amount. But we've got here a mix of like some strong and bitey, a bit of Colby. Is that the milder one? I think it's Colby.
Yeah, I think Colby's mild.
The voice chiming in the background is my husband and sous chef, cameraman, favourite person,
Hello.
Heath.
Yes. Yep, I am here to help and also jump behind the camera every once in a while. So
excellent. So we'll see if that's 100
yes.
grams.
Yeah, okay. How does it look?
It's a bit over. But, you know, seeing as I
like that you said it's a bit over and
then
there was
kept
still
going.
a heap on there. I'm like, yeah, that's the way. Nice. Are you putting more in?
No.
Okay. Right.
I've got a bag of brie in the freezer.
Always smart to have a bag
of
of
brie in the freezer. You never know when you might have a brie emergency.
You never know. A brie emergency? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I think that's somewhat humorous.
A cam emergency? No. Somewhat humorous.
That was a bit mean, wasn't it?
Heath from Almost, somewhat humorous, 1 star. So we're going to blitz that up.
Sorry about the noise.
And then just pop it in this bowl. And then we'll add to that the titular character of this particular slice, the zucchini. Zucchini's been on some pretty good sales lately. So
Yeah, it's like $3 a kilo
I've
or
bought
less,
a bit
isn't
of it, and it just means that I keep finding zucchini in spots.
So yeah, we've got one out already,
Yeah.
and you've got a bunch of them already in bags ready to go.
So we need 350 grams, and I'm not very good at judging how many zucchinis that will warrant. We'll see how, well, I mean, the one's not going to get there, but no, we'll do one more. But because we're at 200, I'll go with the smaller of the two. You're a weird looking zucchini, mate.
Yeah, more like a baseball bat, that guy.
Yeah.
Or a club.
It feel a bit Flintstonian.
I'm not sure Flintstone. Well, it's been said now.
It is. Therefore, it is a thing. And who knew? Bit over. Great, great, great.
So how finely blitzed is that?
Well, let's see.
How finely blitzed are you going for?
I feel like I want to go for a bit blitzier than that.
Okay, well, I don't know what that looks like at the moment.
Well,
so
not
describe
sufficiently
away.
blitzed. Like, it's got some good blitz bits,
Okay.
but then some of the other bits,
What warrants a good blitz?
smaller blitz.
Okay.
Did you want to see, and then I can show you?
Sure.
You can see, and I can show you. So see how like that's a bit big. Like if you got that in your zucchini slice, you'd be
Yeah,
like,
they're like 10-cent pieces, some of them,
yeah.
and some of them
So
are
what,
5-cent
like
pieces.
you want to like in your mouthful, you want to have like bit of onion, bit of cheese, bit of bacon, bit of zucchini. Like you don't just want a big
All right, that makes sense.
a big amount of zucchini.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that feels
Appropriately blitzed.
appropriately blitzed.
Got it. Okay.
So we add that to the bowl with the cheese.
Great.
We have had such a nice weekend, but a lovely weekend with a lot of food. How unusual for us.
The
But
food's been amazing.
We had a sort of church Christmas workshop yesterday, which was fantastic. We had some. Neither Heath nor I have had it before, but it's normally referred to as nuts and bolts, but there were no nuts because kids. But it's like I don't even know how to explain it. Like
It's just
Nutrigrain
like
and
a
Cheerios.
savory snack mix.
Yeah, but like with
Yeah.
Nutrigrain and Cheerios and curry and French onion.
Yeah, so
mix
it's a
and-
combination of savory and sweet
Yeah.
items to some degree. Yeah.
It's so
It
good.
was very tasty. Yeah.
So I have 2 leeks that I have added instead of onion.
2
because
leeks.
we had some leeks.
Where do you get? Do you just buy a leek from Woolies like
Yeah.
everywhere else? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a vegetable that I tend to cook with a lot. Just 'cause it is a bit fiddly because you've got to give it like a full wash and what have you. But
What was that?
bacon. Very frozen bacon
Got it.
that I have now added in. And we'll give it a bit of a chop.
So what were we saying about leeks?
So leeks are growing in like quite sandy soil. So
Right.
it means that when you cook with them, they will have like you have to cut them and then wash them really well because they get like gritty, silty bits in between the layers. And so the flavour of leek it's so good. It's so delicious. but it is such a pain to use. And so if I'm cooking something and if I'm wanting that kind of alum flavour, like your garlic and onion, I'll just use garlic and onion because I don't have to like double rinse that. So, yeah. Alrighty, so now we're going to cook the leek and bacon away for the zucchini slice. So, yeah, so we had our church Christmas workshop yesterday, which was amazing. So much fun.
That was a bit of fun, yeah.
And then we spent the afternoon preparing a 3-course extravaganza, although technically we only had to prepare 2 courses. A 2-course extravaganza for my dad's birthday, which was really fun. So for the main, we did a duck sanchow bao. So we got the duck portions that you just get from the supermarket, and we heated them up in the air fryer and served them in lettuce leaves with chopped up cucumber and carrot and spring onion, along with a melon hot sauce that I had made a couple of months ago. And the melon hot sauce was delicious. It came from the Cornersmith cookbook, which is an amazing cookbook that just lists a whole bunch of ingredients that you might find in your fridge and pantry that you're trying to get rid of, and it just gives you a whole bunch of different ideas of what you can do. So I made the melon hot sauce from that, and the flavor has just been developing. Yeah, for a couple of months now. Yeah. And it's this really delicious, and like if you don't know that it's melon, like it's kind of hard to put your finger on it when you taste it, but it's just this sort of fruity and limey and chili kind of a hot sauce that just went so well with the duck. It was so beautiful and refreshing. And one of my dad's favorite dishes is a mixed grill, which I think is a bit of an Aussie pub classic. So it's normally steak with chops, sausages, sometimes bacon, grilled tomato, chips. Delicious. But not necessarily the most elevated of dishes. And also, like, I do not like cooking chips. I have this real thing about oil on the stovetop. I think I just heard too many horror stories when I was growing up of people's houses catching on fire because of, well, anyway, it's fine. That's more my neuroses than anything else. And so we decided to go with a more elevated version of a mixed grill. So we had a beautiful rib on the bone that we smoked using a Chicago-style rub, so representing the US in our mixed grill around the world. And we made some beautiful baked pork meatballs that we had prepared in a really lovely marinara sauce, and it had them in our ramekins / dip dishes that are fantastic because they're terracotta, and so we can put them in the barbecue, so they took in a bit of that smoky flavour as well, so they technically still worked as being grilled. And we also had some beautiful Indian flavoured quail, which we also smoked at a low temperature, and it was so beautiful and so tender and just delicious, and served with a roasted green bean, asparagus and broccoli salad. So it was super duper fancy, but it did mean that we spent the majority of yesterday afternoon cooking, which is totally worth it.
It was great fun.
My dad.
We had a good time. Now,
wine.
Very important question. Yes.
Yes. Do you want
you read my
sparkling
mind.
or red?
I would like some of that sparkling, I think. All right. I can do it.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I'm happy to be in charge of that.
While the bacon and leeks continue to cook, I'm just going to grab some veg from downstairs, because we're going to go with the pulled pork, we're going to do some roast veg, because I was going to do like baked potatoes, but the potatoes that we have at the moment are a bit small and they're just fiddly to do baked potatoes with. So I thought it would be really fun to just do a bunch of roast veg. I mean, who says that you can't have pulled pork with roast veg. Nobody. That's who. But I am going to have to do something with this large amount of potato at some juncture. I've got some cauliflower. We've got capsicum. Ooh!
How's that for
That's
timing?
perfect.
I don't know if you can hear, but the Thermomix has just said that it's done. Speaking of just done, we just finished off this wine as well, so
Amazing.
all going well.
That's okay. I did an audit.
Okay, got it. In the bin were some disposable container lids, which we typically don't dispose of those containers very
No.
quickly. You know, the ones from like Chinese restaurants and stuff. Although we don't end up with many of them from there, we end up having
No.
to actually buy them.
So
don't
what I
we?
do is I buy them when we're having. Hang on. Cheers, my love.
Cheers.
Like when we're having people over for Christmas or Thanksgiving or something like that, and I will set aside some leftovers for Heath and I, but rather than us sort of, there's only two of us, so we don't necessarily want to live off
No,
like trifle and
that's right.
pasta salad for, well, for a little bit it's nice, but you don't want it for like 4 days. So we're going to add in, so the recipe does call for 5 eggs, but because we're having this for breakfast, I'm going to actually add in 6 eggs.
And our eggs are very big.
They are
So
very
that's
big.
quite a lot of egg. But again, it's
breakfast, and
for
we're
breakfast.
used to having, so this will do the two of us for 3 mornings,
yep.
which will be amazing.
And what are we going to have this with?
So, well, we'll have the zucchini slice with, and we've got some slow roasted tomatoes and some mushroom that you very graciously arranged to have sautéed by way of the Thermomix for me.
Oh, what a surprise that you would mention my amazing cooking.
Your amazing cooking, darling. All right, that's 4. I think it's a bit ambitious for me to try and fit another 2 into that cup.
Oh, I see.
3,
Yeah, okay.
4.
I thought you were going to stop with the...
Oh no,
No. Sticking to plan A.
still sticking to plan A. And for lunches, we're going to have a lemony red lentil soup, which I cooked last night, overnight in the slow cooker. So I had some stock that I had cooking away yesterday. Okay, now with this recipe,
Can I get rid of these eggs?
yes you can. We would normally be putting in 100 grams of rice flour. In the past, I've used self-raising flour and it's amazing. This recipe also adds like 80 grams of oil, which is
That's a fair bit.
lot of oil. And I find that you almost get like a slick of oil on top of the zucchini slice when it cooks.
Yep.
And I've gradually reduced it. What I'm going to have a crack at doing today is actually replacing the oil, which is why I wasn't too stressed about adding in some extra cheese and the extra egg. I'm going to replace the oil and the rice flour with some sourdough starter.
Okay.
So we're kind of making like a sourdoughy.
Cool. I'm
Yeah.
on board. Don't see my face as judging or
No.
anything. I'm on board.
So I'm going to add in 200 grams of sourdough starter. Now this sourdough starter,
Wow.
I've also...
It's so bubbly and
It
airy.
is.
It looks,
I
almost looks like
have-
foam.
I have fed this on chickpea flour, which I
Ah.
haven't done before.
Okay.
Just
Does it seem to be happy?
because it seems to have loved it.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, fascinating.
Okay. Now, is that all the sourdough starter you've got? As in, do you need to save some?
I won't need it all. Perfect. And so that will now just go in the fridge. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, you saw how aerated that was, of just how much it seemed to have appreciated that. I've been feeding my sourdough starter with buckwheat. Like, I know what I'm doing is against a lot of what very good sourdough people will tell you to do. I should have taken a bit out, tested it, what have you. But my sourdough starter is pretty darn hardy. So I've got a good idea of what I can get away with it. I'm just going to grab veggie stock concentrate from downstairs.
Cheers.
Oh, darling. No, I cheersed you, didn't I?
You cheersed me before.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, cheers, go for it.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I'll just talk amongst myself.
Oh, sweetheart. I can still hear you. It's not like a cone of silence situation.
Oh, dear. Hi, everyone. Before the show, yes, I was making mushrooms. I was sauteing mushrooms, and the recipe called for just mushrooms and oil, but we added onion, we added garlic, and we also added some stock powder, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that'll be a nice side for our breakfast.
So add in some veggie stock
A
concentrate.
decent amount of veggie stock concentrate today. I like it. No, it's good. It's good.
Life's too short to have bland food.
If you haven't got veggie stock concentrate on hand, we highly recommend it. Lauren's done a handful of videos about this, so
It's so
check them
easy
out.
to make.
Or,
Yeah.
or
Well, I'm probably
Google
about
them.
due to make it again.
Yeah, Google them.
And we'll add in a good pinch of ground pepper. And we'll add in
The mix.
some mix. And I'll just try not to miss. So I am also hoping that by having that extra egg, that will sort of help bind because of the additional liquid from the sourdough starter. But I feel like it's going to be okay. And I'm interested to see what using chickpea flour will sort of add in terms of flavouring.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So what's involved in blitzing that? Is it just a quick mix or? Yep.
We'll see how well mixed it is. It might need a little bit extra. Oh no, that's pretty good.
Cool.
And then we'll pour it into our pre-prepared container.
So you've just sprayed that with oil, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's amazing. It looks like it's got a heap of veggies in it and stuff right now, but when it cooks, the egg just sort of takes over, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's actually quite incredible. Zucchini slice, it's one of those dishes that I'll often make for a meal train or someone, you know when you are looking at making a meal for someone if they're unwell or if they've had a death in their family or something like that. I love doing zucchini slice and salad because except for vegan. It's a dish which is relatively easy to sort of accommodate dietary requirements. And it's something that you can have this for breakfast, like what we're doing. You can have it for lunch, you can have it for dinner. It's really versatile. And it's delicious, and it's not too bad for you. You can fit a pretty good amount of veg in there. So, before I get too excited, I better set a timer. I have definitely munched that up before. Okay, so we'll go for 30 minutes. So what I will do is just start to prep a few of the veg that we're going to use for... I'll just grab my zucchini chopping board. I'll just prep some of the veg that we are going to have with our roast pork, or sort of pulled pork for the week. So would you mind grabbing out the scrubby cloth?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then just
I can get them
giving
happening.
those...
I'm not actually sure what this cloth was designed for,
I don't know, but it is brilliant.
but it is nice and abrasive, but not in a way that it damages things too much. But it does allow us to scrub potatoes.
So we've got potato, a little bit of sweet potato, and I'll get you to give those a bit of a scrub too. And I've got some beetroot as well. And then once they have been roasting for a little bit, I will add in some cauliflower and some capsicum and onion. I was considering adding in some zucchini, but I think we'll see, because we only need, because we're going out for dinner on Wednesday night, so we only need like enough veg for 3 nights. I do have a tendency to serve a lot of vegetables. I know this about myself.
Yep. It means that you never go hungry, I'll tell you that.
And you know, it's a good variety. So what I've also got to go with these veg, so with the roasting, we'll add in, that's what I meant to do, oh well. With the roast veg, I'll add in some Mexican spices. It's not untrue, but it does make me sound a bit fancier than what I'm actually doing, which is adding taco seasoning. But the bit that is fancy is last night with our duck,
Oh yeah, this is fancy.
I had kept the duck fat, and I'm gonna roast the veg in duck fat
Very fancy.
with taco seasoning.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that. Any vegetable cooked in duck fat.
It's a good time.
Wow. Very flash. Nearly there. Here you go.
Yep, I went for the potato well before.
So we really don't mind keeping the skin on our potato and sweet potato.
And that's what we use the scrubby cloth for. Like it
Yeah.
makes life easier, and there's so much fibre and additional nutrients which are in the skin. So
It's also like not a bad flavour and texture, you know.
I
that,
agree.
Like crispy
Like
sort of,
it adds
you
something
know, like
to
potato
it.
skins and stuff are a very tasty thing. So getting that
I
little bit of
completely
texture,
agree.
we're fans. That being said, if you're trying to get like duck fat into to sort of lock into the potato, it probably
For a second there,
Isn't a
I
bad
was
idea.
worried that we had run out of Mexican spices.
Whew.
It's okay.
We have not.
We've absolutely
We have
not
a
even a little
whole
bit.
large serving. Large, not serving.
That is a very large serving.
That is a serving for a small nation. Alrighty, nearly done.
Thank you, darling. So I got out my handy dandy roasting tray.
Nice big one.
Mm-hmm. And I'll pop some baking paper in the bottom. And I've got my container with my retained duck fat.
Perfect.
And so what I'll do,
It just looks like a tiny, poorly made snowman right now.
would you like to build a poorly made snowman? And I'm going to just pop it in the oven just to melt. Oh, I just got a sense of what's to come with that zucchini slice.
Oh, it smells good.
amazing.
Excellent.
So we've got like 5 potatoes, I think, in here. 2 small sweet potato and about 5 beetroot as well. So because these are sort of the starchy ones, we don't need to have a ridiculous amount. Just enough so that it feels satisfying. You don't want to feel too virtuous for the whole week. Having lentil soup for lunches. And we'll add in some garlic granules.
So, are they something you just buy from the supermarket as well? Or
Those ones,
they're a bit special.
we bought from the garlic grower at markets down in Yarrawonga.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case.
So it's Australian grown garlic and Australian dehydrated. It's amazing, actually. 2 reasonable sized tablespoons of Mexican spice. Give it a bit of a mix. Now, obviously, if we already had olive oil in there, it would sort of be sticking a little bit better. But that's okay.
So, at the moment, you're making like a pool of duck fat, I presume? You're melting it?
Yeah.
Nice. Not ready yet?
It's nearly pooled. Pooled duck fat. Pooled pork.
Pooled duck fat with pooled.
Yeah, so it's probably not going to be a particularly low fat meal,
No
but it
complaints.
will be delicious. So my plan is to kind of keep all the crispy bits, is when it comes time to serving this during the week, is that I'm going to reheat this in the air fryer with the pulled pork in there as well. So it's a little bit like pork carnitas, so that the pulled pork itself, because of the unctuous fat, for lack of a better term, that is in the meat, because it is shoulder, so it's got fat over the top, but it's also got fat in the meat itself, and it's just going to get crispy and delicious but still be tender and really succulent, and that's the plan anyway.
Very good. Alright, you're gonna have a look?
I am going to see how this duck fat is pooling. Oh, that's good. So you see how it's melted? Got a bit of sizzle. And it just smells so wonderfully savoury. So we'll just give it a bit of a mix around. And that will go back into the oven now for half an hour. And at which point we will add in the other veg, so the cauliflower and the capsicum. So while that cooks away, we're going to continue on our afternoon of chopping champagne and frivolity. And I hope that you have also had an opportunity to get a few bits and pieces done this Sunday afternoon that Wednesday self is going to be very grateful for. And we can't wait to do it all again next week on Alongside Lauren.